Good evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday evening and welcome all to the stream. How's everybody's Sunday's been? It's been a pretty good Sunday to me. F1 was good. Played a little bit of FIFA and that evening. How are we, George? Welcome to the stream. Don't think Will will be with us tonight. If he is, then he will be. It's his birthday today, so I think he's out celebrating. So happy birthday to Will. If you're in the server, go tell that to him. Evening, Lewis. How are we, mate? Welcome to the stream. For anybody that is new here, this is in the description. This is the One Big Journey ebook that I created. And inside here, you got, it's free, by the way. You got all important sites. You've got a lot going on. You've got all the market calendars, interest rate trackers, pre-market volume and live data, ETF, due diligence tools, dividends, resources. There's lots and lots going on inside this ebook. So yeah, be sure to go and get that in the description if you want it for free. There's a lot going on there. So I can see everyone's rolling in. So everyone, welcome. Welcome to the stream. So how's everybody's weekends been? Anybody been up to much? Evening, Jordan from the old dude. How you doing, George? All right, mate. Welcome and evening. Right, yes, we've got a lot to unpack. Obviously, we had a lot going on last week, a lot what we've got going on next week. We've got rate cuts, etc. So let's get into what we've got looking into for next week. So a lot was happening last week. We had the S&P rebalance. We had a lot going on there as well. So let's have a look, see what's going on over there. So first things first, we'll start with the typical. We'll have a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin over the weekend seen a bit of a nosedive, and then it picked back up. So obviously dropped to as low as 88 early hours this afternoon, which isn't very good, obviously. Evening, fellow Jordan. Evening, Rob. How you doing, mate? You okay? So obviously we've seen Bitcoin fall from Friday's close. So at Friday's close, it was 92,000. So we are still down from where we closed. Obviously, that's an indicator to start watching throughout December. Something to be very mindful of, keep an eye on. Something I've been tracking a lot of. So when we start looking at the asset classes, let's have a look. So we zoom in. There we go. Start looking at the asset classes for 26 so far. If you don't follow Charlie, he's a very insightful person to follow over on X. So as we can see, gold is still the biggest asset that you could have held this year that gained. So we gained 60% near enough on gold. Emerging market stocks are still smashing it at 24.7%. Growth stocks, obviously, they're up by 19.6%. So obviously the worst thing you could have held this year, realistically, from year start to year now, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually down 4.3%, which is crazy. Yeah, good to hear, Rob. Good to hear. Breakfast was nice on Saturday, right, mate? So yeah, that's definitely something to take into mind there. But Bitcoin is an indicator that we should all be watching really and looking into. So furthermore into that, the top best performing stocks in the S&P 500 in 2025. Some unexpected names in there. Well, obviously, well, some not spoken about names and some that are. Obviously, got Robinhood nearly up 250%. Got Warner Brothers, which Warner Brothers was just acquired by Netflix, which is good to see. Hi Jane team, second week watching live stream. Appreciate putting this on for us. No, I appreciate it, man. And obviously, we've got the Christmas stream coming up soon. So obviously, on the Christmas stream, you're gonna have me, Jordan, Ben, Brad, Will. I think I said Will. Obviously, John's going to be with us as well. We're going to be raising some money for more money to charity, and obviously doing a bit of a Christmas stream, going over what we're doing next year, etc. So yeah, I appreciate it. And obviously going into next year, we're going to see what guests we pull on. We're going to try and keep pulling people on that do the DD, do the chart work, all that good stuff. So yeah, I appreciate the support there, mates, and thank you very much. Evening, Joel. Yeah, it was Rob. Was like the old times, my mate. How you doing, mate? You're all right. People are rolling in. So as we touch on it, on the flip side of that, though, so keep looking at that. Obviously, you've got CVS, AppLovin, some really big names in there that obviously Intel as well, pulling the market up, doing some mad gains this in 2025. I mean, obviously, SanDisk is up 520%. It's crazy. But on the flip side of that, obviously, double-edged sword. We've had some really negative stocks as well. So, evening, Joel. How are you, my mate? Andrew, mate, how are you doing, my mate? So obviously we've had some really, so you had Trade Desk, Will on his birthday, I'll be loving that one, down 66%. You've got some really, you've got Chipotle, FactSet, You got GoDaddy, Zebra, United Health, Copart, some really, really big names that are weighing down the fund. So that is obviously something to keep in mind. Obviously, I know it's very concentrated, but I mean, if you like some Nvidia and stuff, if we look back at this, Nvidia's not even on here for this year. I think Nvidia's up like 27% or something like that for the year, which is phenomenal still. But even though it's so concentrated, it's still not even on there. So yeah, some absolutely phenomenal returns. Obviously, on Friday, we're seeing the S&P announced its quarterly rebalance. We had Carvana, we had Comfort Systems and CRH that joined, and then deletions were LKQ, Euro Car Parts, etc. Solistic Advanced Materials and Mohawk Industries. So a couple of companies in there that have been put in, a couple out. I was expecting SoFi, or in the near future, I'd like SoFi, not so much expecting. So yeah, that'll be nice in the future if we can get SoFi in there for sure. I've been holding SoFi for a long time. I've just updated my last six-figure portfolio for this year, and it's been going a bit nuts to be fair. So I appreciate everybody's support for sure. So thank you very much for showing support. Now, when we start looking at the S&P 500 here as well, so we start looking at this. Obviously, most years we have an intra-year down compared to it being up. I mean, this year alone, it's been down 19% at some points, which obviously we had April, etc., and it's currently up by 18%. So I mean, it's some of those. I mean, the last time we had a down year was 22. Before that, 2017. So most years where it falls down, it ends up actually regaining in that distance. So some phenomenal returns from the S&P 500 there. I love these charts that we see because you get to see the bigger picture. That's why sometimes it's about removing the emotions. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly like Jordan says. It shows how much money can be made in the dips. Won't be a stream without a cup of tea, would it? Or be British. So yeah, like I say, it just goes to show why my personal preference of it's not everybody's cup of tea, ironically. It's a dollar cost average, but for me, my S&P 500, I'll just put in every Friday and don't even look at the price. So yeah, some great phenomenal returns there for sure. Obviously, in other news, Best it was saying, let's have a look. The US economy is stronger than expected. Says that they predicted better than we thought, predicted 3% GDP growth by the end of 25. He said President Trump is frustrated by media criticism. Nothing real, noting real incomes are up about 1%. Best also claimed the US inherited embedded inflation from the Biden administration, which is obviously the talk of the week is going to be the Fed decision. So obviously on the poly markets, 93% chance that we will, but we'll touch on that in a moment. Griat says so far we're seeing China's compliance with trade commitments, which is always good to see. None of us really like that trade talk drama. So obviously that's good to see that China and the US are aligning. It's good to keep in mind for sure. But another thing that you have to take in, this is why I try to find the good and the bad and make sure that be as transparent as possible. The US employers have announced 1.2 million job cuts so far this year, the highest total since 2020 recession, and before that 2008 2009 recession. So that's scary numbers really for the labor market. It's very, very scary. It's a lot of jobs. So, and then some start questioning the case. Is this because of AI? Is this because of other factors? Is this because of job cuts just because of the stuff that Trump's doing, etc.? So yeah, massive job cuts this year, but something to definitely pay attention to. Obviously, rate cuts. It'll be the third this year if we get one next week. Something I've been noticing a massive about over the weekend as well, which is very concerning for a very top contender, well, top percent in the S&P 500 is Apple are having a lot of problems, a lot. Over the past week, the Apple's chip chief considers leaving. Their AI chief leaves. The policy chief leaves. The head of UI leaves. Now 53% chance that Tim Cook leaves. Oh, what's going on at Apple? Me and Beast in the server over the last couple of weeks, we've been saying how good Apple have been doing. All of their products that they are going to be releasing and showing that they're going to release in, and it just shows how quick a tide can change. I mean, I'm curious actually how much is Apple down. Let's have a look real quick. Be interesting to see. Let's have a look. Because this news, obviously, some of it's transparent over the weekend, so it'll be interesting to see exactly where Apple is. Let's have a look. Apple stock. There we go. Let's put it up. I do apologize. So 279. So over the last week, they're still pretty flat line. Obviously, over the last month, they're still up. So let me share that. Still up. So we'll see how the markets react to that on Monday for sure. Well, or overnight markets. Be very interesting because, like I said, there's a lot going on at Apple at the moment, and it's a bit worrying as an Apple user as well. So in other news, Trump wins FIFA's new Peace Prize. Not sure if anybody watched the draw, but it's a most long-windedest thing I've ever watched in my life. So draining. How many of you here like football, or as the Americans call it, soccer? But it's not. It's football, and I know they were preaching about it being called the proper name. Yeah, that draw was criminal. It was so long. How many of you guys were doing that? Drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know who was watching the draw and what you thought about it for sure. On the next one, so Michael and Susan Dell are donating 6.25 billion to fund Trump accounts for 25 million US kids. Let me zoom in one time on that. There we go. Evening, what platform do you guys choose to try? The commitment comes with a new federal government program which allow parents to open tax advantages investment accounts for children under 18. Under the federal program, US citizens born from the beginning of 25 throughout 28 will receive a federal grant of £1,000 to their Trump accounts. The Dells have committed to fund these accounts with $250 for children who are 10 or under. The pledges funds will cover 25 million children aged 10 and under in zip codes with a median income of 150k or less. So, yeah, always football over soccer. Totally agree. Bravo. Evening. What platforms do you guys use to trade with? Is all this type of info in the Discord? Yes, it is. We obviously put in there which one to do. Obviously, we don't trade, so to speak. We invest. There is traders in there, but very far and few. We're more of an investment group. I don't know if that's what you mean, because sometimes people call it trading instead of investing. But yeah, I use Trading 212. I also use Robinhood for some of my option plays that I do. But yeah, there's some obviously Robinhood's just announced as well that they're going to be doing the oyster over there, so I have signed up for the waitlist for that. Doesn't mean I'll completely switch from Trading 212, but I might end up having a balance on both. As Jordan says, a big chunk of us use Trading 212, as does Jay, but lots of info on other platforms people like in the server too. That's totally correct. So all the information is in there. Like I said, a server for the Discord. Very, very good thing. Seeing a lot of traction in it recently. A lot more people are joining. It's getting bigger and bigger by the day. The QR code is in the bottom left corner, as you can see. Glad I just watched Charlotte's the draw sounded painful. Yeah, it was terrible, man. Really wasn't fun at all. What about research platforms? Also, yes, anything that you want to learn is all in the Discord. Obviously, the only thing that we don't do and the rules that we're against is anybody asks, is this a buy? You will be shut down instantly. I want this to drop. I'm waiting for, like, you know what I mean, silly questions. People they'll just pull you up on it. That's all, but respectfully. But in regards to research platforms, all the information you want to learn, if you ask questions, people, that's what we're there. We've built a community where everybody's just like one big team and we all help each other out. But again, like I said at the beginning of this stream, the ebook is in the description. It's got all of that stuff you could want to do. Here he is, the chief himself. Happy birthday to Will. If everyone could say happy birthday in the chat, that's very much appreciated. And I appreciate you dropping in, Will. I hope you've had a good birthday today, mate. And thank you for everything that you do. See, still never misses a stream, even on his birthday. Jay's listed you, but that's right. No, so I mean, again, there's things that everybody does. Everybody's different. It's not like everybody has to have one certain thing that they have to do. If you want to trade, you can trade. There's people in there trade like Alessio, etc. If you want to invest, then big 80-90% is investors. If you want to swing trade, there's people in that swing trade every day because there's opportunities to do so. I mean, I did a swing trade myself the other day, but yeah. Lots of platform discussion is certainly there. I love taking platforms, love talking platforms. Yeah, that's what I mean. Will's your man. It's he's one of them. Big happy birthday to Will. Loads of them coming in. I'm proper old. It's still younger than Pabs. No, I appreciate that. Everyone's saying happy birthday. So let's start a poll real quick. Where do we think that the market's going to be this week? Let's start the poll like normal. Market up or down next week. Let's have a look. Start pulling that. Well, if everyone wants to drop a vote on that. So yeah, back to the basis of what we was talking about anyway, before we got distracted. Another thing that JP Morgan is very up and down at the moment. It's sometimes like one week they're coming out saying that we're in recession and this is happening and that's happening, and next minute they're saying Bitcoin's going to 220 a coin, and there's this that we've seen last week as well. The real AI upside could be 10 to 20 trillion ahead. Infrastructure is only phase one and two. Platforms plus applications are multi-trillion-dollar wave next, all while OpenAI prepares for 1 trillion plus in capex. Hyperscalers spend 500 billion plus a year. Data center vacancy stays at 1.6%, which is very low. So as you can see, the physical infrastructure was phase one, digital infrastructure was phase two, and as you can see, public to private. And then next we've got platform technology and applications. So even in pub, how are we? First time quite a few weeks. Just no, it's appreciate it, man. I appreciate you checking in. Thank you very much. So yeah, some phenomenal stuff there for sure. We've got some more stuff that I want to touch on now, because one of the big things that are happening next week is obviously we've got the Fed cutting rates, or so we hope, in 2 days, 22 minutes and 43. 2 days, 22 hours, 43 minutes and 42 seconds. We have got the next Fed rate cut. Now, people are very bullish on the fact that we're going to get a cut. That probably means that most of it is priced in. Doesn't mean it all is, because last time we've seen a cut, we still seen some really good movement in the small caps. So obviously we can still see that, but then we have to think about the opposite side of it. Obviously, if we have the fact that they don't and it stays the same, we might see a market pullback, which wouldn't be ideal right before Christmas. So yeah, the Christmas rally is still on as we stand. So obviously, as we look at the calendar for December, let's have a look. So obviously we've got some big datas and stuff coming up in December. So obviously going into the 8th now, the week of the 8th, I believe it is. I'm losing track of my days. Yes, it is. So on Wednesday, obviously you got the FOMC, but we've got a lot of data. So let me just pull up the Discord real quick, and then we can have a look at what we're doing for this week. Remove. Let's pull that up real quick. Window. And if you are not familiar with the Discord, this is the Discord. So we'll pull that up for you now. So this is the Discord. Obviously, got all the channels. So you've got the announcements. Obviously, I was doing mine. So before we get into that, let's have a look at this. So next week, we've got some big earnings again. So you got the almighty GameStop. I know people used to love that one. So we've got Oracle, we've got Adobe, we've got this very poor Premier League team. I know Morgan love that. We've got Lululemon, Costco. I always pay attention to these big wholesalers. It is very important. You get to get a lot of data from seeing those. You've got Versa Bank. So yeah, still some very big earnings. I was in the Discord but got kicked out. What did you get kicked out for? Was it because it was before it went paid only, or was it because of something else? Let us know. Trump started pumping tariffs again about half hour ago, along with a Fed decision. It's going to be a choppy week. Okay, well, obviously, I haven't looked at that because I was setting up this. So if I have missed something from the last half an hour, then obviously I will catch up on that for after the stream. But yeah, Trump always talking the talk on a weekend. Obviously, we get the futures in a couple of hours, so it'll be interesting to see. So on top of that, this key events for this week. Let's have a quick look at that. We've got September's Jolts job opening data on Tuesday. We've got the Fed interest rate cut decision on Wednesday. Chair Powell speaks on Wednesday. OPEC monthly report on Thursday. Initial jobs claim data on Thursday. 30-year bond auction on Thursday. So actually a very, very, very packed week with data. Something to pay very, very much attention to. Keep saying a lot of the words out. Phenomenal was the word I was using in my video a lot yesterday. So as I was saying about the server, if anyone's unfamiliar with it, so obviously we've got chats for all the most popular stocks that get voted in. And we've got people, if you are a content creator, you can post your own content. So there's John. If you don't know who John is, go follow his stuff. John's an absolute legend. And you've got the membership portfolio updates. So people, obviously, you can see people are making mad gains in here. So obviously, some of these making some absolutely ridiculous funds over the last month, 12 grand. And this is the community that we've built, and it's just a really strong community. It's great. So yeah, very happy with that. So let's move on to the next one. On the window, I wanted to pull up on something real quick because it is important. Chrome tabs. There we go. So something that we started doing a fundraiser to support homeless families at Christmas. Obviously, a link for this is in the description. Everyone's been absolutely smashing it with this. We only started it on the beginning of the month. We've already had 32 supporters and we're already up nearly to £500. So yeah, that's massive. That's massive for the fact of the cause. Obviously, really appreciate everyone supporting me and doing it as well. Obviously, it's pretty touchy subject for most people. So yeah, it's good, mate. It's good. So other than that, what stocks are people looking at? So obviously we've got the partnership that we've got with investing.com. So obviously I have a partnership with these guys. So we've got the pro site, got a lot of data on there and stuff. What stocks have people been oh Jake, oh that's Jake. No, Jake, that's not what he's kicked for, was it? That's because you were reminded 100 times not to keep doing the same stuff that you kept doing. The membership is $4.99 a month, mate, and obviously, yeah, obviously it's $49.99 for the year or $4.99 a month, so well worth it in my opinion. Obviously, Will's just put it there as well, so that's great. So, what stocks are everybody looking at? What's everybody been doing? Obviously, on my watch list here, so obviously this is some of the stocks that I hold, not all of them. Got ASTS, got Nebius, Ondas, PayPal, SoFi. Um, some of these stocks I think are phenomenal. I mean, I was buying some more PayPal last week. At the moment, it's saying it's a bargain on the fair value for Investing Pro. And obviously, the analysts are saying that it's undervalued as well when we look into PayPal. It's been so obviously when you start looking at the financial health. Now, this site, I'm still learning a lot on it myself as well. So we're going to go through this together. Obviously, they've just declared a dividend as well. So the market range for the 52 week is actually quieter in the lower area. Analyst targets for 33 analysts is between 60 and 120. So we're on the quite a low end for that as well. Oh, there we go. Investing models, 13 models say it should be about 100.38. So we're well off where we need to be with that. Yeah, appreciate that, mate. Well, like I say, you'll be welcomed anyway. Where's Jake gone on there? Jake, I'll tell you what, drop me a message on Discord and I'll speak to you after this. What we got that? Yeah, love that, man. If you need any help, feel free to add it. Yeah, no, it's happy days, boys. Happy days. I can see you all over. So obviously, for me, I think PayPal's an absolute bargain. Obviously, you can look at all the data on here. So if we start looking at the financials here, this site's great, by the way. Obviously, I've just got to where's it? Earnings. Here we go. So it'll show you all the earnings. It'll show you everything. We'll show you where the stock price reacted after earnings. So if you're a trader, this is some great information for you and stuff. There was something that showed you where its EPS would go. Financial Sweat was on here. I will have to have a look. Earnings. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So it'll show you the EPS forecasts. So where it thinks that its earnings per share is going to go. If it thinks it's growing more. The lows, the highs, the forward PEs, what it thinks it's going to be a multiple of year-on-year growth, the expected year-on-year growth. Yeah, it's class this size. I think it's good. Start looking at the ProPix AIs as well. Start looking at Buffett's AI, Buffett's holdings. Obviously, Buffett has stood down now. So start seeing every single last company that they hold in here. Oh, portfolio, that might make more sense. There's every single stock. I think there's more than that if you drop it down. Overview. Again, like I say. There we go. View all. See all the stocks that they own. Price when added. Return on exit. Where's the you got the ideas one here as well. ARK's always a massively followed one that everybody follows, isn't it? ARK Investment. Everybody loves Nancy Pelosi. There you go. By the way, Will, I said that one right. PayPal is currently priced for negative growth according to my DCFs. It's still growing. It's not a bad company, just a bad stock. All the stock eventually is returned to fair value. Yeah, I think PayPal's been beat down for far too long. I think next year is going to be PayPal's year. Reach said Neo seems necessarily beat down on its record deliveries and pending penetration into the EU markets this year, bounced on the 200 MA last week. Yeah, some of these stocks. What other stocks have we got? What's everyone else holding? So I'm going to look at it. So obviously looking at Nancy Pelosi, she holds a lot of Tesla. And by the way, this is updated live, look, from the SEC filings, so it just does all the hard work for you. Some people have to do a lot of digging to get all this type of information. Shows you what she bought, when she sold it, um, everything. Look, what operating country it's in. It's crazy. This website, it's got so much knowledge. You can do, obviously, she owns a lot of stocks, so it's hard to get all of them on the screen at once. Some really big positions in there. I'm trying to find. Where's that? Where it showed you everything at once. Market view, risk. Yeah, it's so good. It shows you everything, man. You've got screen there, data, you've got charts. This Warren AI is what I like as well. Um, from the Midlands, then from the accent. Yeah, from relatively close to Birmingham, but nowhere near. Like it's about half an hour away, but relatively close. So yeah, that's funny. We have a distinct accent, don't we? So yeah, we like I say, you got lots on here. You got screeners. You can have a look at anything that you want on the screener. So yeah, it's a good site, man. It's a good site. So I mean, what stocks everyone got? Let's have a look at some of the stocks that people have got. Like I said, it's a bit of a raw stream tonight. I'm going to get somebody else on again next week, but tonight was a bit of a raw one. Look at some stocks, go over the news, see what's going on, see what's cracking. Pro picks. I want to have a look at Financial Fortress. Let's have a look at this. So you can see the pro research as well. So I'll open up a tab and look at this. Look, so let's say we go. Oh, that's great. That is. So you can go in and you can literally see proper research from proper groups to see what they've like. And obviously, investing.com, you've got proper analysts looking at proper data, showing you everything. Pablo, it's a good serve for the price you pay each month. If you're active, you get much more out of it than it costs you. Exactly. I think what does you do it for what 30-day average? £4.99. £4.99 divided by 30s works out 17p a day, which is like I say, some people make a lot of money out from there from the knowledge they make, not from copy trading. We don't condone copy trading, but obviously we can't stop people doing it at the same time. So obviously, like I say, these messed up there, didn't I? There we go. These here, if you were just to follow what they put on this investing.com, this total return for 12 years is 2,800%, outperforming the S&P by 2,419%. Look, you can see what they do. So you can literally see what they put in when they put it in there. It's good, man. MP Materials. So yeah, let's have a look on here. MP Material Corp. I believe this one is it. Materials and Metals. Saying it's fair price. She's down. Holds more cash than debt on its balance sheet. So that's good. 4 analysts have revised their earnings downwards for the upcoming period. Suffers from weak gross profit margins. Stock price movements are quite volatile. Obviously, you've got all the SEC filings and stuff, etc. Oh no, there's the financial models. Ignore me. No dividends. MP to its peers. 52-week high, it's lower. No dividend yield, etc. Let's have a look at where they expect it to go financially. Earnings, sorry. So they do expect it to be profitable by the end of next year. So it looks like it's down at the minute on earnings per share. So that would indicate that it's not profitable at the moment. So it looks like next year it will be going profitable from the analyst expectations, and it will keep growing from there. Year-on-year growth, they're expecting a 367% growth next year. So I'm assuming there's something in the pipeline. Not sure about MP Materials, but we have a rare earths channel. That was more of those people you can get. Yeah, definitely. You have a lot in MP now. Expensive. Yeah, massively expensive, mate. It's game changing, 17p a day. And that's what I mean. What people don't understand, what most people don't understand, out of that five as well, we have to pay the processing people like 30% of that or 40% of that. By the time we've done the taxes and everything else, it's £2.50 we see. And obviously there's a couple of us in the team and stuff, so it's next to nothing. But yeah, people so yeah, it works out less than that we receive. What do you think of Rubric? Let's have a look, see what that is, what the crack is. Rubric. Let's have a look. So they're expected to go profitable by the end of 27. So it looks like they're unprofitable at the moment. Let's have a look at the overview. So it's down a little bit from when it was after hours. Looked like it changed a lot on Friday. There is the charts here. There we go. Look, you've got literally you've got so much on there. It's so good. Stock price moving with its 50 and 200-day average. So it looks like it crossed back over a couple times. I know that's a yeah, and then it broke out. Looks so it's had a breakout. So yeah, it looks like on a trading perspective from what we've been watching, these two here crossing, and then it's had a breakout. Look at me learning from the TA guys. What do you think about a couple of computer graphics? Great, and isn't they? Can you take a quick look at comments? Yeah, of course. Let's have a look at that one next. CCJ, here we go. Charts not looking too bad. Overview has a perfect. Oh, there we go. So this one looks like a good one in regards to the stock indicators on this site. Has a perfect Piotrowski score of 9. Net income is expected to grow this year. 3 analysts have revised their earnings upwards for the upcoming period, trading at low PE ratio relative to near-term earnings growth. Let's have a look at their earnings. Earnings are estimated to carry on growing for the next few years. Year-on-year growths to be 40+%. Actually, yeah, so that one looks like a good stock. I will have a look into more of that one. But yeah, so obviously you can compare it against stuff. You can look at the financials charts. You can look at so let's look at the health. So obviously 4, which is great performance. So the growth health is great. Cash flow is great. Relative value is a bit low. Profitable health, yep. Price momentum. So yeah, it looks like a really solid stock to be fair. EPS dollar trend score. See, sometimes when I start looking at this, I start talking to myself, so I do apologize. Getting locked into the moment a little bit. So yeah, CCJ looks like a good stock. What else? Everyone else talking about? What do you think about Computer Center? Let's have a look at that. Computer Center. Let's have a look at this one. Overview. Suffers from weak gross profit margins. Management has been aggressively buying back shares. That's always good to see, but not if it's too much. High shareholder yield. Stock generally trades with low price volatility. That's what you want to see. IT services. So its financial health is looking in good. So have a look at the charts. So yeah, it looks like again, look, see how these cross here, look. Fellas are talking about this and then you see how it breaks. That's crazy, that is, when you start looking at stuff like that. Valuation versus earnings growth. This one also looks, everyone's going with a bangers tonight, and they're looking at good stocks from what they're looking at. Growth health is obviously a 2. Profitability health's a 3, so that's good. Price momentum's a 4. Yeah, that one also looks like a solid stock. Chat's very active tonight. That's what we like to see. Thoughts on RR? Which one? Is in Rolls Royce or Rich Robotics? I have to say that one again. We'll been to Goodwill looking into Camco, and I really like them, not just a minor, but with the Westinghouse Holdings. I think they are good, but still a lot to get grips with before I invest. See, with the miners, my personal favorite is obviously Hive. Hive, I do like. I think obviously, like I say, got a lot of fairness across the way here. When we look at their earnings, they're expected to keep growing. Year-on-year growth is oh, that's what analysts believe. To analysts anticipate sales growth in the current year, quickly burning through cash, which they have. They've been selling some of their Bitcoin reserves to fund that. Stock generally trades with high price volatility, which it does because it tracks Bitcoin. And stock price movements are quite volatile, which is totally true. CCJ does look very interesting. Yeah, I've made a note of that. Looks good. It's, I appreciate the shout on that. So we'll have a look. Gameco, good nucleative play. Oh, what you meant Bitcoin? Silly old me. Let's have a look. Yeah, that was the one we was just talking about, wasn't it? That Camco Corporation, CCJ. Yeah, yeah, that one's fuels. Yeah, I know that one. That's what I was looking at. Yeah, this one looks very interesting. To be fair, I'll be taking it on back to Discord and having a look into that for sure. Looks very interesting. Good shout, whoever that was. I'm not sure who put that in there. It's a solid shout. Every week my cup of tea goes cold. I ain't letting it this week. What are we looking at here? Thoughts on SpaceX if the IPO? So I guess this was valued the other day, wasn't it? I think Elon came out and said that the valuation was off or something, or he said something across the weekend. So, but Scotty Cash is Scotty Cash. He knows. Keeping an eye on Coping had their earnings last month, 12th November. I remember Ondas and UMAC investing in December 4. Yet Coping, I did a lot of actual research in my own vault. Coping are a very good stock, regardless of nothing else says Bazia. They are a good stock, but the problem is they trade on very thin margins. So if they have any delays or any problems, then yeah, it's gonna hurt them. But I also did think that there was overvalued, and there were four, I think it was. Let's have a look. I think they were at they were up here. Look, they were at 4. I know I thought it was overvalued, and now I think it's in its fair value. To be fair, I do think. Let's have a look. See what they think. Health, pro, price momentum, growth, health, profitability, health. So yeah, look, profitability, health is low, relative value is low, cash flows, health's low. That's what I mean. I trade on very very small margins. So yeah, very good stock, but it's important that they meet deadlines and carry on doing it that way as well. What else we got? I'll be interested in picking up some, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, if SpaceX did any IPO, I'd definitely be picking up some as well. Yeah, Coping's very interesting stock. They're very good for what they did. I spent a fair few hours looking into it. I mean, you know, we've got the pro research here. So obviously you've got all the pro research here. You get to look through it all. Some very interesting stuff on here when I'll start to keep learning this. I'm like I say, I've partnered with these. It's in the description. You can get a discount with them and a discount with my code. But yeah, there's so much going on this site. Looks good, man. Oh, can we change the currency as well? Class. Don't make it as realistic though if it's in my own currency. What's this? Would be the second biggest IPO likely if SpaceX did. Yeah, I mean, if OpenAI ever IPOs, that's going to be nuts. Yeah, Will's same. Yeah, yeah. If anyone don't know, it's Will's birthday today. Big up, Will. Happy birthday. Make sure everybody says happy birthday to him. So Quantum had a very, I had Marcus set on this, and like I say, it had a real run in it, and then obviously they all pulled back massively. I mean, like, what was we looking at? Let's have a look at the last year. But we came from down in the lows, went all the way up, had some really good rallies, and then obviously we fell back down. Yeah, I think again it was a lot of hype what Trump was doing. When Trump was pushing a lot of gas into the it was what Joe's saying. Hey guys, sorry, catching up on the stream. CCJ is a big holding in there. NUKG ETF for those interested in nuclear players but want to reduce risk in one name. Okay, that's nice. Let's have a look, see if we can pull that up. NUKG ETF. See if we can pull the holdings up. I don't know. Was it NUKG? Would help if I could spell. Let's have a look, see if we can pick up the holdings. No, don't look like I'm picking it up properly. What was it on there? No, I'll have a look into that after. That's fine. NUCG. CCJ is the biggest holding, NUCG. Ah, there we go. So yeah, it's probably done it wrong. I was about to say I couldn't get it. Nuclear to NUCG Vanesk. Let's have a look. See if we can find it now. One description. Holdings. Yeah, there it is. This is the one. This is one you're on about. Will's right. NUCG. Joe doing fake news. So yeah, this is I think this is something I need to start looking at. I know John's been on this for a bit, so shout out John. Investing with John. If you ain't invested, subscribe to his channel. Go show him some love. He's been in one of these for a while, to be honest. And to be fair, it'd be interesting to see how's the performance been doing. Oh, really good. So what they've been doing in the last year. So up in the last year. Bit of a run up, bit of a run back down. But yeah, some nice growth there for sure. 1 month it's down 17, up by 8, up by 70 point. Yeah, solid. What other stocks everyone looking at? Let's have a look. Quantum ETF or Google's enough quantum exposure. Yeah, Google's is the bee's knees. Only problem is with that Oclo is ALS, a big name in it. Oclo trades really high for non-profitable company. Yeah, agreed. I was having this discussion not long ago. Yeah, see, look, Joe, fake news, in it. Come on, man. Tell him, Will. Tell him. Some news and predictions about Ondas next. Yeah, everybody's talking about Ondas now, and it's bittersweet, really, because I'll give M5 his dues, and I'll give Brad as well his dues, and myself. We've been talking about Ondas pretty much before most people. I give Jake his dues actually as well. Jake on X, a big trader, but yeah, we was talking about it publicly before a lot of people. But yeah, now it's seen a lot of people. It makes me wonder: is the hype going to start piling in? And will it make me evaluate my position sooner than I want to? Because if we see Blue UAS announced next week, and if we see rate cuts, it could end up going a lot higher than I want it to too fast. And it's good. If it went to 30, I'd be selling out my position and waiting for the pullback and getting back in because that's my worry. You see, I want to hold on that's for a long time, but if I see it run too fast, too hot, too quick, it's going to have to make me change my strategy, which I don't really want to do. But is if it does it, then it does it. But yeah, he's on it, isn't he? So if Scotty Cash says it's happening, then it's happening. But yeah, if you like I say, if you're not in the server, the QR code's down below. So yeah, Google's mega, to be fair. I mean, I did that stream the other weekend on Google, and they and we broke it down properly. I didn't realize how much of a good company it was until I started doing it. What other stock tickers everyone got? What's everyone looking at? Be interesting to see what everybody else is touching on. Let's have a look at some of these more pro picks as well, see what's going on in there. So let's have a look at the top value stocks. You've got Adobe, Amgen, Buckle, United Health. See, United Health, look, they're saying management has been aggressively buying back shares, has raised its dividend for 16 consecutive years. Crazy. Trading at a low PE relative to near-term earnings growth, and stock generally trades with low price volatility. This is where people start coming when they want a safe haven. So the problem is with Hims. Do you like Hims? And I'm debating on it over Oscar. Still need to do some more DD. The problem is with Oscar and Hims is obviously healthcare. I stay away from it, if I'm honest, because it's messy. And obviously with Oscar, I can't remember what it is, but they're reliant on something passing through. Otherwise, everything goes to shit. So that'll be very interesting. I see a lot of people talk about Oscar. For me personally, I don't think it's all that. From when I looked at it, looked at the financials, looked at the business plan, I wasn't totally sold, but I could be missing something that everyone else is seeing. Hims went aggressively on a run, didn't it? And then obviously, again, like I say, it only takes Trump to start talking about lowering healthcare in something or doing something else, and it's just all over the shop. I mean, look at it. Look at it over the last 6 months alone. It's just up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So yeah, healthcare is a bit messy, to be honest. Grabby grab. I picked up Grab about a year ago, and then obviously that is why I don't invest in Grab. Look at that. It's just basically flatline for the last 6 months. Look at the last 3 years. So in the last 3 years, I mean, let's pick up a prop. Let me see if I can get my proper chart up because we're trading 212. Let's have a look on here. So yeah, started building quite a decent following on here now as well. People love to downvote your stuff there. That's great. So let's have a look at Grab. I'm not sure how I feel about this new graphy stuff that it's doing now. Why is it doing it like this instead of pulling it up? But yeah, if you have a look at graph and a Grab for the max, look, it's just basically moved flat for years. Yeah, it's gone from 3 to 4 to 5. I mean, but really? So we're going to gain $1 in like 5 years, 4 years, 4 years before it dropped here. Yeah, so 4 years and it's at the same price. Grab's very manipulated, but people say it's manipulated, but they don't touch on it. The problem is it's got billions of cash, but then doing nothing with it. So what's the point? So yeah, Grab is a great stock, but it just doesn't do anything. I'm not sure I want to touch him or Oscar. Too much health sector nonsense. Yeah, that's Will's it. So on there, Trump only takes one tweet and he's all over that like it's gone out of fashion. Personally find the health sector hard to invest in. It's volatility and cutthroat news is crazy sometimes. United Health, not sure about the ACA. It's too complicated. A politician, really. got in early on Hims and have since closed out. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people in the server, didn't they? They got Hims early days, and obviously people made some really good money on that run. It had a run up to like 60, didn't it? I think it was or something. Let's have a look real quick. I'll forever do that. I want to know why it's doing that. Let me come into the home real quick. Looks like they've done another update on here or something, which is horrible. They're forever changing stuff that don't need to be changed. That's the problem. That'll be the type of stuff that makes people go to HUD when it starts going to its stocks and shares ISA. I'm interested to know that. So when HUD brings out its ISA, how many people will fully transfer from 212 over to HUD, or will you have both? I'm interested to know that. So on HIMS, look at the last. So we look at last year. Obviously, it went from like being 28, went all the way up to 64, came back down, went all the way back up. Do you know what I mean? So I think 39. I mean, I wonder if it's a fair price of where it's supposed to be. Let's have a look. Hims and Hers Health. Let's have a look at it. So its earnings, they expect it to keep growing for the next 5 years, nonetheless. Their overview. 5 analysts have reviewed their earnings downwards for the upcoming period, trading at a high earnings multiple. Management has been aggressively buying back shares. Compared to its peers, yeah, massively. Look, this site's crazy, by the way. I'm still learning loads about it, but it's great. Whom else? My moonshot fascinated for a biotech. Let's have a look. I'm assuming HUMA is this one. I'm assuming. Quickly burning through cash. If so, stock has taken a big hit over the last week. Suffers from weak gross profit margins. Stock price. Damn. What happened? Oh. So it went from being. And it went from like. Oh, yeah. It went really down, didn't it? Let's have a look. Is this one of this is when people start saying when they know the market's quote unquote toppy, when they say over the last month it's down 15%, 8%, down 75% for the last year. That's a big drop. That is. What do you like about it, Roops? What is it that you like about it? You plan on getting an S-bet. I know Will was a massive fan of S-bet, wasn't it? At one point. I'm not sure if he's still looking. I guess I'll have a look in a sec. Stack. Is it this one? Not sure if it's that one. I had a good position in him, says I liked it, but sold it onto the threat of Amazon getting in on their own market. Now, Paul Thomas, my main man in this Bitmine. Yeah, it's BM&R, isn't it? That you guys are in the Bitmining one. This bad boy here. Yeah, that was a mad pump, wasn't it? Stocks always dropping. The mega caps come knocking in their space for sure. Had him at 14.46. I think that's crazy. I noticed that we're trying an awful update. Yeah, terrible. Absolutely awful. Not a fan of that. Not a big fan of HUDs. To be fair, I don't really like it for the stock side of things, but I like it for the option side of things. I think on the option side of things, I think it's mint. But on the stock side of things, I don't think it's the best at all, to be honest. Will either stay or fully switch. Prefer to have it in one platform. Yes, same. I don't want, because obviously being a content creator type of thing as well, pointing out there, people attract to big numbers. Naturally, when they see 100,000 or 200,000, it's better than when they see 5,000. So if you have it split across accounts like I have with my ISA and my invest account, it's one of them. HUD's UI as well. Yeah, I think the thing is with trading 2-on-2 is it's gamified in it. So obviously, naturally, people want to win it. I'll stay 2-on-2 and invest in as much as I hate it. HUD has no appeal to me. Yeah, I like HUD for the options. That's it really for me, personally. Feel the same unless there's a big real benefit for using HUD. I think I've seen Ben say it earlier, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check it myself. I think they don't have FX fees on there or something. So that might be something that people are considering. They have proven products in Sinvest that would work well in the military sector. They seem to suck at actually advertising the company, though. I mean, yeah, I've never heard it, to be honest. So, I mean, it's one of those. I think I used to have a lot of spec. I mean, I don't even know how to find them all on there now. Discover. There we go. So this is the problem when trading 2-on-2. Keep swapping stuff. You don't know where your stuff is. Seeing some of these stocks that I used to look at is hard to look at as well. I mean, this Laden Bridge here, I was looking at this like a year ago or something when it was down where was it now? Earlier in the year. It wasn't before. Oh, it was going to be back before last year. So yeah, here look, August last year, 34 shares, now 60. This one was a one that I was looking at massively. What is it? Something 360. What is it now? Live 360 or something? Is it Live 360? Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to find it and see what it was. That one was a massive one that I used to hold. Do you still? Yeah, I still have so far. I did an update yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I'd go and have a look at it because it's absolutely right flying. To be fair, but yeah, I've still got SoFi. So my average is 13. Currently sitting at 27, up 99.72%. So yeah, just so anybody don't know, this is not financial advice. By the way, I'm only joking. This is the next best thing. You don't know about vegan baby food? Yeah, they will. So this is a joke I was having the other night, but we actually might be onto something. Oh god. Net income is expected to grow this year. Analysts anticipate sales growth in the current year, quickly burning through a crash. Stock has taken a big hit over the last week. Let's have a look at the financials. Well, this is jokes, man. So they expect to be in growth by next year. Well, they're already in profit, so that's mad. Financial, sorry, no, where is it? Health, that is. So the growth health, the profitability health's down. Hmm. Yeah, look at that chart, Will. That looks crazy. No, you don't know about the vegan baby food, mate. The vegan baby food's is where it's at. It's funny that we come across that the other night, to be honest. Prefer trading 2-on-2. Haven't really got deep into options on HUD yet. May sound daft, but 2-on-2 feels safer for some reason. It's a me thing. I mean, like I say, I used to use what was it called now? It was called free trade. That's what I used to use. I used to use free trade, and I didn't know about an ISA. I didn't know about a lot of things. This was a couple of years ago. Obviously, I used to invest, but didn't know about these things. And then I ended up making a server and doing stuff like that. So yeah, now obviously you learn across the way. Over the last 2-3 years, I've learned a lot. Been investing for about since lockdown, but like I say, 2-on-2 has just always been good to me. I like it. Thoughts on Lumin? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Lumin. I'm assuming that's laser then. Luminar Technologies. That seems to have run down massively from where it was. Jeez. Let me have a look at a better chart for that. Lumin. Oh well, what happened? Something happened. Plummeted. 88% this year. It's down 99% since it started. 43 there. Let's have a look at the overview. Operates with a significant debt burden. May have trouble making interest payments on debt. 2 hours advisor earnings for upcoming period. Let's have a look. Sort of expect why all of a sudden would they be expecting 75 million revenue? I would definitely look more into that one properly. I would just that's something I'd have to have a look at. I randomly found a casino called Sands. Looks a good stock. Sands. I'm assuming this is it. Sweden. No, that's not it. Las Vegas Sands Corp. LVS. Hotels, restaurants, and leisure. Hotel management has been aggressively buying back shares, has risen its dividend for 3 consecutive years. Impressive growth, profit margins, trading at a high PE. So shorts. Hey man, are they bad? See how these lines cross? This is something that they were talking about. And that's kind of like, hey, if you pick that up down here somewhere, you're laughing. Let's have a look over last year. I mean, yeah, if you picked up in this 40 range, you're laughing. Fair play. Is there any other stocks that people are looking at? Obviously, will only be a shorter one tonight. I'm going to stay here till about 9. And then, so is there any other stocks that people want to look at? Some of the ones that I have been looking at is obviously more Hive. That's something. I'm not sure what ones I had on my watch list here. So Did all my yeah. So these are the ones that I had. So Nucleus, or whatever. So a few of the lads got into this one a couple months ago. I think they got in around 8. I did some DD on this one, and I told them be careful on that one. It obviously ran up, which they expected it, but then look, it came right back down. So I'm glad a lot of the lads took their profit when it was around in this mark. But yeah, this was being, you have to be careful of these stocks. It was being massively pumped by one guy on Twitter who owned like 5% of the share float. And yeah, so when you start doing that and a lot of retail comes in, it's a little bit like beyond meat. UAMY. Let's have a look. UAMY. Looks good on the chart. Earnings, they expected to be profitable by the end of next year, expected to keep growing. Analysts anticipate sales growth in the current year. Net income is expected to drop this year. Analysts do not anticipate the company will be profitable this year. Stock has fared poorly over the last month. Well, fair play. I mean, you have to look at Ondas. I don't see that as well. That's why you have to take some stuff with a pinch of salt. But look at this. It holds more cash than debt on its balance sheet. Oh, this one's this one's probably good. I expect it to be bad. Oh, my bad. There we go. Let's try that again. UAMY. Did I switch it over, did I? My apologies. So yeah, the analysts anticipate sales growth in the current year. Net income is expected to drop. Analysts do not anticipate the company will be profitable, and stock has fared poorly over the last month. Obviously, the charts, I mean, obviously you've seen a significant pullback since October, just down to dead here. The earnings, they are expecting it obviously not to be profitable this year, but next year they are expecting EPS to be positive. Thoughts on Fubo? No, you're not in, but I'll give you my thoughts on Fubo in a sec. So yeah, what one was I just on about? What was I on about then? Oh yeah, Ondas. So when you look at Ondas, I mean, they're looking pretty stacked now. They're all green, holds more cash than debt. Analysts anticipate sales growth, significant return over the last week. Stock generally trades with high volatility, which it really does. Compared to its peers, look, it trades 144% more volatile than its peers. Oh, that's nuts. Yeah, so close to Minimax. Yeah, it's crazy volatile. But you have a look at the pro research on here again. Look, you can have a look through some really pro tips. Holds more cash. Stock has taken a big hit over the last week. Stock trades quite volatile, not profitable, which we know. Trading at a high revenue valuation multiple, which we know. But large price uptick over the last 6 months. So yeah, so right, Fubo. Right, problem is with Fubo, I'll give you my 2 cents on this quickly, is the fact that it was priced. The problem is with Fubo, look, we'll have a look here, look, on this one. Oh, I was doing it again. I was showing this, by the way. My apologies. The problem is with Fubo, so let's have a look, is all of the growth from the merger that everybody was waiting for has been priced in for a year. Look at what happened. So let me have a look at 3 years. Look what happened. You have to look at the chart to realize what happened. Here is where stuff started to get priced in. And look, everyone started taking their profit. And then over the last year, look, it's just pretty much traded sideways. And then the news has come out. And guess what? It's dropped further. A lot of people, and the problem with Fubo is, obviously, I don't like to try and call people, like put people on fingers because it's not their fault specifically. Is people just copy trade, and then they don't actually understand what they're holding. So they follow everybody else, don't do the proper due diligence, and it's like now they're losing loads of their subscriptions, losing loads of their things. For me, I'm not very bullish on Fubo, or I could be wrong, but yeah, look here. Analysts anticipate sales growth in the current year. 2 analysts have revised their earnings downwards for the upcoming period. Suffers from weak gross margin. Stock price markets quite volatile. So when you look at the financials, earnings, start looking at this. Look, they're expected to be profitable, but it's not growing at a great. The year-on-year growth looks like it's going to be good, and the multiples are growing into them. But I guess it's one of those. But me personally, if I might have looked at, a lot of the growth was already plummeted in for it. So, rare earths. You know, my thoughts on AMD. AMD, I absolutely loved AMD. I was buying AMD at. Let's have a look at this. I was buying AMD at 70, I think it was, in April. Thought AMD was a great stock. I sold mine at 170, 177, something like that, I think it was. Um, and then obviously went on a mad run again. People were giving me shit on TikTok saying, "Oh, look, you sold too early, blah blah." I sold for 100 point gain. I didn't sell too early at all. I made a lot of money on AMD. That's another thing you have to be careful with. You can't marry your stocks and hold them forever. Like at some point, you have to obviously you have to let go of the stocks. Like so, you have to set price targets and then obviously leave it that way. So that is a big thing. You have to be able to take profits. I think AMD is a great stock. I think it's going to continue to grow in the future. But yeah, I sold out of that position, but I got in at April. So like I say, I was getting in at these 70 ranges down here, the very early 70 ranges. It was good. Cyber attacks in the increasing interconnected world is the next black swan in my bottom. Cyber C could be a good edge. Drew, if you had to trim to just 3 holes as we sit right now, what would they be and why? That's a good question. Let's have a look at what we got and let's weigh that up. I'm going to be jumping on in 5 minutes because I've got to get off, but obviously normally they are longer. So I've got Ondas, Nebius, SoFi, PayPal, AST. If I had to trim it to just 3, it's actually pretty easy. It's my top 3 holdings. Looking, oh, let me share the screen. So it would be easy. It would be Ondas, Nebius, and SoFi. Obviously, there might be three biggest holdings. I think I've got what have I got 70, 80, nearly 90 grand across these 3. Ondas, I like. I loved Ondas as a company anyway, but the fact they're bored and their team and people like Eric and people like James and stuff are really good people. I can run with that. Um, I'll give you that one quickly before I finish that up with the last one. Nebius, obviously, great stock data center. I got in early days. I think it's got a lot of growth to do yet. SoFi, it's just no brainer. SoFi has just obviously been suppressed for a long time. It hasn't even got its tech multiple yet. It's obviously going to get S&P inclusion at some point. It's constantly profitable, constantly growing, so it's a good company. So my thoughts on BBAI. This will be the last one, and I'm going to jump off. Obviously, BBAI is a great stock, but it was the problem is with Kev when he took it over is it was just swanned in debt. Now, if you've got 5 years probably to wait, then obviously happy days. I think BBAI eventually will turn around. It was a stock that I made a lot of money out of when back in April. I bought very low. I sold at a decent price. So yeah, I mean, I've got one share still. I still think it's trading relatively high, obviously from where it was. Still think it's expensive in my personal opinion. But yeah, it's a good stock for the long term. The problem is with BBA, they could have really have done with being in a better position for the World Cup. They could have been doing with all of the facial recognition and a lot of stuff. But the problem, because obviously Big Kev has got big ties with Trump and stuff. But because they're so swallowed in debt and stuff, he's so limited on resources. So yeah, I did a lot of research on it. I think they're good. Right, people, I know it's shorter than normal. We've still done an hour. Really appreciate everyone tuning in to these. We're going to keep getting people on, keep getting these streams bigger. Keep going, like keep getting these streams bigger and bigger and getting people on so we're learning. I've enjoyed tonight just touching on some stocks. And again, really appreciate it. And Will, happy birthday again, mate. I appreciate you checking in. Like I say, thank you everybody for being here. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And thank you very much. I'll see you soon.